friends. I thought I have to check on my seedlings this morning and make sure they've got water before I start working, so I thought it was a great opportunity to kind of talk to you about how I started them this year. But my husband and I made this makeshift little greenhouse. This is a clear shower curtain, $2, Dollar General. What's up? Hopefully, and they are growing. Hopefully you guys can see. You might not be able to. Takes a minute to get this adjusted. I'm so sorry. I can never remember if the turn needs to be forwards or backwards. Okay, I'm going to move you over here. Okay, I am not sure if you can see my little makeshift thing here, but I can tell you right now that these beets that I started fail. Very dry. That is in 24 hours. Too dry. I'm going to try to water it again. These were dry, but they actually sprouted. So I'm going to quickly get some water in those. Now this is peppers. I think these are the hot ones. Jigsaw. Okay, this was my first year. Yeah, these are my husband's hot layers. This was my first season of like getting the seedlings to actually take off in here. I have tried to grow these in a window. I have tried to do them under grow lights and put heat around. It did not work for me. But this time I just tried to take every lesson that I had learned. I started with loose, good starting potting mix, made sure it had good holes, kept it moist. I got a seed starting mats that has heat underneath it. Game changer, kept it warm. I took them off, but we had grow lights on each level. You can kind of, I gotta water these, so I'm pulling them out. I'm not sure if you can see the grow light or not. before we go look at my tomato plants, I want to tell you one more thing. So it's just an industrial shelf you get at Home Depot. My husband found that, I guess guys hang the tools and stuff on it, but it has this reflective film on it. He cut one in half. He boxed it around here. We put in a thermometer. Back in the back of my windowsill, I've got a heater that I keep on low, kind of just to keep it heated up in here. I think that also helped with my peppers. I watered the tray in the bottom. I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called, to be honest with you. If you guys remember, put it in my comments below. But I put water in the bottom of all the trays, put them back on the heating mats. This is the last thing I do every time I put the water in it. Just to get them used to like the elements, I take my hand and I just go like this. And you're going to see some of them fall over. But, you know, when they're outside, they're going to be dealing with a lot of wind. So I just kind of do that just to get them used to being messed with. It seems to work with me. I learned that tip from somebody. Who was telling me that? One of my neighbors was telling me that with their tomatoes, they used to start them in the windowsill, just a simple little one. And then they transplanted them outside when they were only like this big. But he just would rub his hands over them when they got up. And he didn't have to do the hardening off. I'm not willing to risk that because my seed starting is precious. So, but that's what he said. I do it when I water it. I close this back down. Pull my plastic back down. Cover it all back up. Okay, I always make sure that my fan, I hope this camera's sitting right. I always make sure that my fan is going, that this is surrounding the whole thing. Trust me, this is a lot better looking. I used to take my curtains and I used to do this and it looked so tacky. Not that this is beautiful, but it's not as tacky. Now tomatoes. I start, not my brassicas, not cauliflower or broccoli or the spinach or the lettuces. I do all those back here. They tend to like it better than out there, and I don't have an explanation for you. Maybe somebody could tell me why the brassicas and the leafy greens do not like my south-facing window and the grow lights. They prefer to be in this west-facing window in the natural sun. So it's very strange. Also, not sure if you guys can see, there's all my tomato plants. This right here, I had someone tell me not to put all 4 of these in a styrofoam cup, that they would get root bound. I do this every year. I will sprinkle a couple in there because these are cherries. I will wait till they get this tall, which we should be able to start putting these in the ground in 2 weeks. And when I take them apart, I just do it gently and I bury it deep. So I'll end up cleaning off the bottom portion and they will go about that deep. But my cherries get atrociously high. Somewhere in my history, I've got a video or I've got a picture of, they were like 12 feet. They were ridiculous. And I ended up like folding them over and like letting them trail out. And then my chickens end up getting a treat and I still have plenty. But of course I end up with wild tomato bushes everywhere. It's okay. They end up eating them, so it's not a big deal. So if anybody tells you not to put multiple seeds in one styrofoam cup, this is proof. It started out as a low haul pepper. That didn't work. I cleaned it all out. This is a sunrise cherry. This is when I started it on 4/4. This is May 2nd. That's how beautiful they are. I love it. So here's another one. Well, there's a baby in there. I will plant it. If it survives and it goes good, even if they start looking a little wimpy, and sometimes they do. I've even had plants start out, and maybe you guys can help me with this too. I've had plants start out already experiencing blight before they're even past this stage. I haven't been able to figure that out. I don't know if it's bad soil, too much water, or what it is. But I usually stick my finger in. These all feel pretty moist still. I think it's because of where they're at. Flowers one. This one has some leaf curling. Okay, container's broke. I've used this to max, but save these containers. If you guys buy plants at a box store, nothing wrong with that. If that is your way to get started in sufficiency, go for it. It'll help you learn about the plant. You can get it in the ground, you can watch it grow, you can see how your soil responds to it. Whatever you find that you like, always try to buy 2 of it if you can and you have this space, so that if one fails, you still got one left and it doesn't break your heart so much. I always buy, well, I'm a little bit plant ridiculous, so I always get 4 of whatever I'm buying, because it allows me to just have one of those is going to survive. So, that's my suggestion for you. But this is one that it was like curled over like this, looked like it was dying, and I'm like, you know what, I just don't have the heart to get rid of it. I'm a little concerned about the leaf curling right there, but I clipped it off. I like clipped off every single leaf except for these 2. And it started to stand straight up. I don't know if this is going to get any fruit. I don't know if any more shoots are going to come out the side. I have no idea. But I will keep you updated, as this is one of the yellow tomatoes. So this is another one. It was dying. I gently messed with it, but it, honest to goodness, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it looks like it is getting things shooting out the side. I'm leaving it. I don't know. Everything in here looks pretty good, so I'm just going to close my curtains. But if you can see, cauliflowers, tomatoes, broccolis. I am going to be putting those in the ground, I hope. Here in Ohio, the weather is oddly cold. Like, I shouldn't say oddly cold. It just, I was so excited for spring, and it was just a very chilly spring. Chilly and wet, it feels like, but rain's not always a bad thing. I guess one of them drones, I guess, delivering the water up in the skies, messing with our weathers. I don't know. What do you think? This is Wild Bloom Homestead. Thanks for watching. Take care. God bless.